Okay, so something really interesting is going on over on the Cardano blockchain. There's this lending platform, Surf Protocol, and it's suddenly seeing this massive surge in activity. Now, this isn't just random noise, it's a signal. And in this explainer, we're going to put on our detective hats and follow the data to figure out the real story behind these numbers.
And this is the number that got everyone's attention, 2 million ADA. That's how much has been borrowed on Surf Protocol. And let me tell you, that's a huge milestone for any lending platform. It's a pretty clear sign that some serious money is making moves, and that usually means something big is on the horizon.
But look, this 2 million ADA, it's more than just a big number. It's like the first breadcrumb in a trail. It's our first clue in a much bigger mystery. Because, when you see this much capital moving this fast, it's not just luck. There's some smart strategies at play here. So let's get into it.
So this is the big question, right? Who is doing the borrowing? What are they borrowing? And most importantly, why are they doing it now? If we can answer these questions, we get a really rare peek into what some of the biggest players in the Cardano ecosystem are thinking. So let's start with the what.
All right, let's get into our first piece of evidence. To figure out the what, we've got to look at the top borrowing pools on the platform. This is where all the money is flowing, and it's going to give us our first major clue.
And this is where it starts to get really interesting. See, the borrowing isn't spread out all over the place. No, it's super concentrated in two main pools, SNEK and STRIKE. You can think of these two as the headliners right now on Surf Protocol. They're getting pretty much all the attention and all the capital. Everything else is kind of just background noise.
But here's the wild part. The platform isn't even breaking a sweat. There's still a massive 4 million ADA in liquidity, just sitting there, waiting to be used. So this isn't a story about a system being pushed to its limits. This is a story about crazy high demand. And with interest rates hovering around a mere 6%, it's basically a feeding frenzy for people in the know.
So let's follow our first lead, shall we? With 700,000 ADA in borrows, the SNEK token is obviously a huge piece of this puzzle. The activity here is pretty recent and it's significant, so let's zoom in a bit and see what the data is telling us.
And this quote, which comes from the Surf team themselves, really says it all. Loading up again. What does that tell you? It means this isn't some brand new thing. It's a pattern. We've seen big money move into SNEK before, and guess what? It's happening all over again right now.
And here's the proof. In just one day, a single 24-hour window, over 100,000 ADA was borrowed from the SNEK pool. That's not a slow trickle. That is a tidal wave of capital. It's a huge signal that a major player, or maybe a group of them, decided that right now was the time to make a big move.
But SNEK, believe it or not, is only half the story. If the activity there felt like a tremor, then what's happening in the STRIKE pool is a full-blown earthquake. This isn't just people being optimistic. This is an all-out blitz by the bulls, and they are making a statement that is absolutely impossible to ignore.
And right at the center of this storm, we've got a whale. Now, for those of you who might be new to this, a whale is basically an investor with so much money they can actually move markets. And right now, it sure looks like one of these giants is building a massive long position on STRI. This isn't just a random bet, it's a calculated, super confident move on where this asset is headed.
And this is what that demand looks like in practice. The STRIKE pool is at 60% utilization. Think of it like a hotel, right? If the hotel has 100 rooms and 60 of them are booked, that's 60% utilization. And let me tell you, in the world of DeFi, that is a very, very popular hotel. It's basically the clearest sign you can get that STRIKE is the hottest ticket in town.
But wait, it gets even crazier. The total value locked in the STRIK pool, that's all the capital that users have deposited, has shot up by 400,000 ADA in just the last month. So this isn't just about people borrowing. This is new money pouring into the system, basically fueling the fire. The bulls aren't just betting big, they are seriously doubling down. Okay, so we've followed the clues. We've looked at SNEK, we've looked at STRIKE. Now let's zoom out. What does all of this activity actually mean for the Cardano DeFi ecosystem as a whole? What's the main takeaway from all our detective work?
And honestly, this quote just says it all. While the rest of the market might be going up and down and all over the place, Cardano DeFi is just, well, it's chugging along. It's not just surviving, it's thriving. This isn't just about a few traders trying to make a quick profit. This is about a deep, fundamental belief in the future of this whole ecosystem. It's a sign that people are still building, investors are still investing, and the future looks bright. So let's connect all the dots, right? We've got a huge surge in borrowing. We have a laser-like focus on SNK and STRIKE. We've got whales making these monster bets, and there's this sea of liquidity just sitting there, ready to fuel the fire. So what does it all add up to? It means something big is brewing in Cardano DeFi.
And that brings us to the ultimate question. Is this all just another wild day in the world of crypto, or are we watching the first few moves of a much bigger game? Because when you see this much smart money moving this quickly, all at the same time, you just have to ask yourself, what do they know that we don't?